بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معكم الأستاذ لؤي بن نافع التنبكتي. Inshallah, we are going to study the 3A module 3A Traveler 4, page 45. It's going to be on writing, inshallah. And now we'll go over the task here. Let us start by having the questions. The first question is, why do you think people write letters to the editors of newspapers and magazines? Have you ever read any of these letters? So our task today is a letter to the editor expressing an opinion. Let's first break out the title. A letter is something that you write to someone or to some place, to the editor. The editor is the one who is editing papers and newspapers in institutions like that. Expressing an opinion. We have an opinion. An opinion is to express your feelings through writing. So let's go over these questions. Why do you think people write letters to the editors of newspapers? Of course, people want to express their opinions, want to write. Someone's are creative, so they want to write. Of course, we have magazines, we have newspapers, and now the revolution of the social media helping the people who want to write to do the same. Have you ever written to the editor of your school newspaper, or what about? Actually, this question is to you guys. Have any one of you ever written to the editor of your school or newspaper? Some schools have an editor, have an editorial paper that students or teachers can participate and write in this. Let's now move to the other page. And here we have a form. We have a form of a letter. As you see here, read the letter to the editor of a newspaper below. What issue does Tom Evans discuss in this letter or in his letter? Do you agree with him or not? Actually, this letter is from Tom Evans to someone. As you see here, he used to write, "Dear Sir or Madam." He don't know if this letter is to a man or a woman. Let's now go over the letter and read it quickly. I am a concerned parent writing to complain about the unhealthy dinners which are offered to our children in some schools. So unhealthy here, or unhealthy dinners, it's the food that is not healthy. We mean junk food. Are offered to our children in some schools. I feel that there's too much junk food. As we said, junk food is the unhealthy food. And not enough fruit and vegetables. Fruit and vegetables are healthy food, especially for children and young people. Let's now keep on. I think school staff and parents should do something about this situation. A recent survey of school dinners has shown that the menus consist of pizza, chips, and chicken nuggets. All these examples are unhealthy food for schools or children who are learning in schools. To make matters worse, vending machines in school canteens are stocked. We have canteens. Canteens is the place where people or where the students can have their food, especially the breakfast. To make matters worse, vending machines in school canteens are stocked with soft drinks, crisps, chocolates, and sweets. This kind of food leads to health problems such as heart diseases, high cholesterol, and obesity. So we have different diseases that are caused by junk food. We have high cholesterol. I mean here, high cholesterol is coming from the food that is full fat. And of course, we have opacity, which is the outcome of eating these food. In fact, it has been found that the number of overweight children in the country has increased dramatically in the last few years. Although trend in healthy eating has recently swept through the country, it does not seem to have caught on our schools. Radical changes must be made to the existing junk food culture. We can do this by showing schools how to provide fresh, nutritious meals that children will like. So the process here is to enhance schools and is to increase the awareness of schools, principals, and teachers to make the environment more healthy and to provide children with healthy meals. In conclusion, I recommended that the school staff and parents should take action on this issue. We all need to work together to come up with a solution before it is too late for our children. So this is the form of a letter. As you see, we started here by this one, which is a greeting, dear sir or madam, and we ended up with this one, which is the conclusion, yours faithfully, and your sign, then your name. For now, we'll move to another part. Actually, here we have some questions that is related to the text that we have read. Let's go over them. Read the sentences below and tick the ones that apply to the letter above. Uses a formal greeting and signature ending. Explains why he is writing in the first paragraph. Complains in a rude manner. Uses a variety of phrases to express his opinion. Uses short forms. Justifies his opinion. Makes suggestions. Uses the passive voice. We're back to this, but we move to another part which is very important. Yes, this is how you start the letter, or how you start writing a letter. As you see, when you are writing a letter to the editor of a school newspaper expressing your opinion, follow the outline below. Actually, we first have or must have the greeting. The greeting is when you want to talk to someone for the first time, or we want to send something to someone, you have to greet him. For example, in Arabic we say Assalamu alaikum. So this is a greeting. So use a formal greeting. So we have a formal greeting like dear, like hello. Opening paragraph. In writing, we always have an opening paragraph. If you still remember, when we discussed this in writing essays, we said that we should have an opening paragraph, which is the introduction. So opening paragraph, we have to say why you are writing this letter. So you have to say the cause or the reason that made you writing this paragraph or this letter. If you are writing in response to an article, refer to the topic title of it. Main part. So we have main part, which is the body of the letter. Focus on one or two aspects of the issues or problems, give your opinion, and provide justifications and/or examples. So focus on one or two aspects. You have to focus on one or two aspects. Aspect means, effects means structures related to the same title of the letter. Give your opinion and provide justification and/or examples. You have to give your opinion justified, proved with examples or such a thing. Closing paragraph. Now we'll reach to the closing paragraph, which is the last one in the letter. So here we'll summarize the points and the letter politely. What's the meaning of politely? Politely means in a polite way. You have to be patient. You have to choose your words. Okay. So don't be aggressive. So you have to choose your words to end up the letter. Signing off. Signing off means ending up. Use an appropriate signature ending, sign underneath, and write your full name below your signature. So we have to use an appropriate signature ending. For example, we have yours faithfully, we have sincerely thanks, and then sign and then write your full name. So this is how we start a letter divided into different parts. As we said, we have greeting, main part, actually it's full of details, and then we have closing paragraph and signing off. Here we have a tip. Here we have a tip to you guys. What's a tip? A tip is when you want to advise someone or when you want to make an advice for people or someone's. So you have to follow these rules. Let's go over them. The aim of international aid to developing countries is often to prevent hunger and poverty. So let's break the first sentence. The aim means goal. So aim means goal of international aid. International aid is international help, the global help that's paid to poor countries. Developing countries means poor countries. For example, countries in Asia or Africa or South America. Hunger and poverty. Hunger is to be hungry, and poverty is poor people. Many people believe that providing education and access to modern technology would be a better way to help developing countries. So the vision, or the nowadays vision, is that people believe that providing education and access to modern technology would be a better way to help developing countries or poor countries. An example of this is OLPC project, one laptop, actually it stands for one laptop per child or per children. Project mentioned in the listening activity, which aims to offer cheap laptops to children in these countries. In your opinion, what is more important, food or laptops? Write a letter to the editor of your school newspapers expressing your views on this issue. Let's now go over the tip. When you are writing a letter expressing your opinion, so now we have the tips. Write in an appropriate style. What do you mean by appropriate style? Appropriate style, we mean smooth style. A style that can be understood by many people, especially those who are reading English for the first time or those who have a little bit variety or a little bit capacity in English. Group related ideas together in paragraphs. You have to group your ideas in the paragraph. You have to make your ideas related, controlled, okay? List ideas in order of importance. You have to list your ideas in order of importance. The first one, the second one, the third one, until the final one. Do not be aggressive or use offensive language. Do not be aggressive. Aggressive means you are not in a polite way. And do not use offensive language. Offensive language means aggressive. You have to be polite. You have to be ordinary. Use linking words and phrases. If you still remember when we did the essay writing on the last module, actually we talked a little about the linking words. We said a little about them. We have many linking words. For example, we have but, we have in front of, we have many linking words that use in writing process. For now, let's move to the other part, which is, yes, this is a plan of writing, a plan how you can write a letter. So this will help you a lot, in writing process. Brainstorm ideas for your letter. Brainstorming is the most important step in writing. You have to brainstorm. Brainstorm means grouping ideas, okay? making ideas together, okay? So brainstorm can be by yourself, can be within groups. So you have to do this within groups or by yourself. You have to collect ideas, you have to write down them, okay, to make the process of writing as easy to you. So brainstorm ideas for your letter. Use formal greeting. As we said, formal greeting. We have something in English called formal and informal. Formal is something that is academic, that is used in the media, that is used in academia, used in universities, colleges, and schools, while informal language is the slang, is the street language that's used in different aspects of life. Opening paragraph. So we have the opening paragraph. What is the issue that you are discussing in your letter? So you have to mention this. You have to mention this when you start writing the letter. You have to mention this. What is the issue that you are discussing in your letter? By the way, time is very important when you are writing. Time is very important. When you arrange the way of writing, when you arrange everything, when you do things step by step and take care of time, everything will be okay. Let's keep on. Why is providing food to developing countries important? Why is providing food to developing countries important? So this is a question, and of course it has reasons. It has reasons. So you will write something about this. Why is providing laptops to developing countries important? Again, you have to convey and write something related to this. Which one is a more effective way of helping developing countries? It's the same way with the above questions. Closing paragraph. Now we reach to the last part or to the last step of writing letter, which is closing paragraph. And this, in a few words, okay, in a few words, what do you think is more important to developing countries providing food or laptops? As you see here, in a few words, so you have to summarize. You have to make it in a brief, okay? Don't write in details. Try to make your ideas brief, try to summarize them. And then we have the signing off. Signing off, as I said, it's ending up. It's the last part of the letter. Sign off, which means it's a sign with an appropriate formal ending. As I said, we have different words. We have sincerely thanks, we have yours faithfully, we have thank you. So all these examples can be used in closing paragraph or signing off of the letter. Actually, this is the page of writing. This is the page of writing. Whenever you start writing, you have to take care of the tips or the rules that we have done. You have to start in this part or in this part, okay, by writing the greetings, okay, and then you will go directly to the opening paragraph, then to the body and the last part, which is ending paragraph, and then signing off. This piece of writing is very, very important. Please try to concentrate with me in this. A letter to the editor expressing an opinion, a formality, see, formal. So it's formal, not informal. Letter is written to someone you don't know personally, and it is usually of a business nature. Note the layout below. So this is the position of the person you are writing to. So here you are writing the information about the person or the one you are sending a message or writing a letter to him. So position of the person you are writing to, and or name of company. Sometimes you send this letter or you write this letter to companies, to certain institutions. Then address the person or company writing to. You have to write his name. Greeting on the left-hand side of the page, leave blank line before and after the greeting. You have to leave an indentation. Signing off on the left-hand side of the page, followed by a comma. So you have to follow this by a comma. So signing off of the left-hand side of the page, followed by a comma. Your signature and your full name clearly written underneath. Your address. So you have to write your address on the right part of the page. Your address on the right hand side of the page without your name. Don't need to write your name because you will write it at the end. Date. You have to put a date. You have to write a date below the address, leaving a blank line in between. You have to have a line in between. Paragraphing. So now the way of writing, the process of writing, which is paragraphing, you can indent or write in blocked paragraphs, leaving a blank line in between the paragraphs. Note that when using blocked paragraphs, everything begins on the left side, hand side of the page, except your address and the date. Okay. Note, this is a note, very important note. Informal letter, 3 minutes. Informal letters, when you don't know the name of the person you are writing to, begin with Dear Sir, Madam, or end with Yours faithfully. When you know the name of the person you are writing to, begin with Dear Sir and Madam, Miss, Mrs., surname, and end with Yours sincerely in American English, Yours truly. So there's a difference between British English or American English, are commonly used in Polish.